hold up, is Drake really considering taking himself out after Kendrick ruined his life? Baby, just when we thought this whole Drake and Kendrick feud couldn't get any worse, people are now worried that Drake might take his own life after Kendrick completely humiliated him. Now, Drake is currently hiding out in Canada, and word on the street is he's scared to return to America because he knows there's a lot of people out to get him, and they won't stop till they take him out for good. I mean, not too long ago, his house was broken into, and he had to get double the security he already has just to keep people from attacking him. If it's one thing we realized during this whole beef, it's that Kendrick knows how to hate a man with a passion, and Drake isn't nearly as tough as he's trying to make everybody believe he is all these years. What's even crazier about this is that Kendrick was initially hesitant to do this back and forth thing, but Drake kept pressing him to respond, cause Drake easily could have taken the J. Cole route and clocked out of all of this, but he just had to show the world how gangster he was, and even had the gall to drag Kendrick's family into it. But before we get into all that, let's just spin back to the very beginning of this feud, because unlike what most of y'all think, it didn't just start out of nowhere. This feud been cooking up for over a decade now, and it all started back in 2013 when Kendrick dissed Drake and several other rappers for his verse for Big Sean's song Control. He rapped, "I got love for you all, but I'm trying to unalive you guys. Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you guys. They don't want to hear not one more noun or verb from you guys." The track wasn't really anything serious, and it was meant to just start some sort of friendly competition among all the rappers who was popping at the time. But Drake didn't really take it very well, and he got to throwing shade at Kendrick. In his cover interview for Billboard magazine just days after the song came out, he said, "I didn't really have anything to say about it. It just sounded like an ambitious thought to me. That's all it was. I know good and well Kendrick is not me at all on any platform. So when that day presents itself, I guess we can revisit the topic." After this, they kept throwing shots at each other in a few songs over the years, but it wasn't really anything crazy. That was until last year when Drake and J. Cole collaborated on their hit song First Person Shooter. Now, J. Cole was being messy in his verse and decided to bring Kendrick up by tagging him, Drake, and Kendrick as the big three in rap. He rapped, "Love when they argue the hardest, MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big three, like we started a league, but right now, I feel like Muhammad Ali." Now, this verse did not sit well with Kendrick, and he clapped back at both Cole and Drake on his song with Future and Metro Boomin, Like That, in which he rapped, "F sneak dissing, first person shooter, I hope they came with 3 switches. Mother F the big three, man, it's just big me." Drake clapped back with push-ups, and for a moment, it looked like he had this beef in the bag. But of course, Kendrick came right back again and completely messed that up with Euphoria. He accused Drake of having a BBL and confessed that he would love to see Drake dead one day. Now, Kendrick kept the heat going when he released another diss track, 616 in LA, in which he called Drake out for associating with PEDOs and claimed that he had secret informants on Drake's team who've been feeding him all the information about Drake over the years. Now, Drake didn't let this slide, and he decided to involve Kendrick's family in this when he released Family Matters. He claimed in the song that Kendrick was a terrible father to his kids, and that he has a habit of putting his hands on his baby mama Whitney. He then went on to put Whitney on blast for allegedly having an affair with Kendrick's friend and manager Dave Free. The song brought Drake back in the mess again, but before he could enjoy his little 3 minutes of glory, Kendrick hit again with his song Meet the Grams just 37 minutes later, and he made a series of allegations about Drake being a pedophile, while also telling Drake's parents they didn't do a good job at raising Drake and telling Adonis that his dad ain't ish. Before we could even process the song, Kendrick hit us with another song, Not Like Us, and that was the final nail in the coffin for Drake, because even the cover photo for the song got people talking because it featured a photo of Drake's house with multiple SA offenders on it. This time around, Kendrick went from accusing Drake of associating with PEDOs to claiming that Drake himself was one. He rapped, "Say Drake, I hear you like him young. Hide your little sister from him." And Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified PEDO files. Why you trolling like a bee? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor. Now, in case y'all don't know who Baka is, he's one of the many creeps that Drake keeps on his camp. Baka was arrested in 2014, and he was charged with 6 offenses in connection with And as soon as he got out, Drake signed that man to OVO. Big yikes. Kendrick's allegations about Drake being into underage girls actually made a lot of people start digging around for information to confirm if Drake really had pedophile tendencies. And baby, there was plenty receipts. The first was a video from 2010 of Drake inappropriately touching a 17-year-old girl on stage, even after she made it clear she was only 17. There were also several photos of him messing with 16-year-old Kylie Jenner after he was called to perform at her birthday party. In 2019, he was also caught messing with little girls again when it was reported that he was actively hooking up with then 18-year-old model Bella Harris. Apparently, Bella and Drake met during his Summer 16 tour. At the time, Bella was just 16 and Drake was 29 pushing 30. And do y'all remember the time he left this very creepy comment saying, "I've been waiting," under Billie's pre-18th birthday post the day before she turned 18? And let's not forget Millie Bobby Brown, who Drake was talking to very inappropriately when she was just 14 and he was 32. They first linked up when Drake flew her out to his show in Australia. Ever since then, he forced her into a friendship with him and flooded her DMs with messages about how much he misses her and how much he can't wait for them to see each other again.
What about your relationship with Drake? Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more." He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited. Yeah.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
But this wasn't the only damage that Kendrick's song Not Like Us did. Just a few days after it dropped, the Nation attack was made on Drake's life not once, but twice. The first time was when his house got shot at and one of the hit his bodyguard. Luckily, Drake wasn't home at the time of the attack, so he was safe. Just 24 hours after this, though, a strange man caught by Drake's securities team was trying to break into his crib. He kept insisting that he needed to see Drake, but security wasn't having it. They called the cops immediately, and he was arrested then. Now, Drake didn't address this directly, but he sparked concerns about his mental well-being when he posted a cryptic video to his IG stories that had fans speculating if he was at his breaking point and possibly considering the idea of taking himself out.
Maybe I do. But when you die, will people notice? Well, I know there's going to be a lot of memories of me by a lot of people. Many will hate me, even so. A person needs to live with vigor. Otherwise, what's the point?
But none of this made Kendrick back down, because he continued to drag on his Not Like Us run and absolutely humiliated Drake, even more than he already did. The song actually went #1 on Billboard, and Kendrick accompanied it with an iconic show in LA on Juneteenth, where he performed the song 5 times in a row. And baby, every single one of those times, people rapped along at the top of their lungs. A whole lot of celebrities attended the show too, including people who are linked to Drake, like SZA and LeBron James. After this, we thought he was done whacking Drake, but it turns out he had one last trick up his sleeve. He dropped an entire music video for the song on the 4th of July, and this video alone had so many hidden messages that further destroyed Drake. There was a scene featuring him and Whitney, and the kid that Drake was claiming wasn't his, crip walking in their living room having the best time. Aside from this pretty much being a slap in the face for Drake, it also single-handedly debunked the rumors that he was mistreating Whitney. There was also this scene of Kendrick skipping on a sidewalk chalk hopscotch at a playground while he was rapping the part of the song that said, "Trying to strike a chord and it's probably a minor." This part of the video was basically Kendrick doubling down again about those allegations that he made about Drake messing with minors. And let's not forget about the part of the video where Kendrick locks up an owl with a broken wing in the cage and walks away. And we all know Drake represents his entire brand and label with an owl. This was a clear sign to show Drake that he won the beef. At the end of the video, he could be seen smashing a piñata of an owl with a disclaimer that said, "No OV were harmed in the making of this video. Now, Drake tried to take control of the narrative again by popping out at Mike Rubin's very Masonic all-white party to make people think that he was unbothered. But baby, this only made things worse because he looked very stressed and aged out. It was clear that he hasn't been sleeping well and he's been super stressed by Kendrick. Now, as usual, people had their own thoughts about this. Like this person who said, Drake doesn't realize it yet, but he's done. He will never again earn the same respect in the eyes of the fans. He's a joke, and everyone is gonna be side-eyeing him for a long time. Another person said, Drake is the one that wanted Dot to follow through so bad. He messed with the boogeyman, and now he's dealing with the repercussions of that. But now I wanna know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Drake hinting at taking himself out? And do you think Kendrick took things too far? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.